Hallmark Christmas movie watching mug. My mom got that for me.
How come I don't have anything?
That one?
Oh, this says...
My girlfriends gave to me.
Good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but you know they're always there.
That's because we're an hour and a half away from each other.
And
so...
It took me a little over an hour and a half this morning, but I'll tell you what, it was so pretty. The fields, the crops are all starting to turn. You could see the corn and the beans. The trees haven't really turned that much yet. There's like a little bit of color on a couple of them I saw, but mostly everything's green, I think, because it's been so hot.
Hot and dry.
Oh my gosh, yesterday it was like almost 90 degrees.
This past weekend, we went up to, my girlfriend Marla works at an apple orchard pumpkin patch place up on Lake Erie, and we went up there, and the leaves were gorgeous.
Yeah.
They were all turning. It looks beautiful. But down here, it's not peak yet.
No.
It's turning.
Yeah,
and our pumpkins are turning. Pumpkins are ready. We are selling pumpkins.
Thanks for posting the picture of the kids. Oh my gosh, I can't believe all the kiddos are getting so tall.
They're so big. They're big.
These are all college friends, and so they're all the kids are kind of like in the same age range. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, just to see them year to year, how much they're growing. Oh.
Yeah, I went to college in 1996, my freshman year, and my next door neighbors in my dorm, Paula and Marla. Paula's having a baby today.
What?
It's today.
Today?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh.
So, and we've been best friends since day one, since we met each other. And they live in Cleveland, and I live an hour and a half south of them. And we've just stayed really good friends, and our husbands are all good friends. And we all got married, within a year or two of each other. We all have babies. Paula's having a baby a little bit later than us, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, I wished her good luck, maybe, for the past several days. Because I'm excited to hold her and love on her, but we're going to talk about that more later.
Well, and you all had 40th birthdays together. That was funny.
Yeah.
But it's so neat to watch these kids all grow up together, and they're just so tall. I mean, it's so big. Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they're friends too. Like, when we got to the apple orchard, they were having a fun fest, and the kids just took off with each other.
Aww.
Like, AJ and Ian took off too, and they were gone. And it's like they just pick up where they left off. It's great.
That's
and
nice.
Then Izzy and Gia hung out with Melissa. Melissa wanted my phone, and she wanted to make YouTube videos. So I've got tons of videos of her holding my phone like this and talking to the phone. Like, she could see her, but you can't see what she's doing. Like, the pumpkin patch or the apple orchard, like, nothing. And I'm like, I can't make a video out of this. She doesn't get it.
No.
And plus it's like, she's like going down slides, and you can see her going, ah! Yeah. So super fun. I can't make a YouTube video out of that. So we're going to have to help her out next time. I think.
Kind of give her a little coaching there.
Yeah, but she had a blast by herself in my phone.
I'll bet she did.
Yeah. So what else has happened? We podcasted 2 weeks ago.
Yes, we did.
What's happened in your life? Anything exciting?
Let's see. Well, we have Ron and I, my husband and I, are fortunate enough to have my folks nearby. They moved here, almost 4 years ago now, from Pennsylvania, so that they could be closer to us, and we could kind of help if they needed anything. So we try to every week get together what we call date night. So we had date night last week, and Mom cooked Ron's favorite, a pot roast, which he loves.
He does love the pot roast.
And we played cards together, so we were lucky enough to do that. He's been doing a lot of traveling, so if we don't get together every week, it's every other week. In the wintertime, it's usually every week. But so we got together with them last week, and we had a really nice time visiting with them. They loved our podcast. They watched that.
Did they? Oh,
yeah.
Good.
And Mom was so excited when we gave her a shout out, especially about the knitting and stuff. So that was really fun. And I've been working on some quilting projects that we're going to talk about. And basically just really been busy. So nothing real exciting. Just
Do I need to tilt the camera down a little bit? I feel like there's a lot of
like a little
headroom, like right there.
No, well, we could.
All right. I'm not.
You were trying to get the quilt.
I'm not even gonna edit this out. I don't think.
Okay. Oh.
And it's more crooked. It's too much.
Yeah. Now we're seeing boobs everywhere.
All right. Maybe that's it.
That's good.
Okay.
That's better.
Camera fix.
We can still see the quilt in the background and stuff. So I know.
So I've had a lot happen the past 2 weeks.
Yes, you have.
I've had a lot happen. So I published our first podcast on Friday at noon.
That was exciting.
And we've had over 500 views. So thank you everybody for watching. And I didn't even mention in last podcast that Quilt Swag is sponsoring our video.
That's right.
Quilt Swag is if you're a knitter, and I know a lot of you are, Quilt Swag is like a Ravelry for quilters.
Right.
So you can go there and upload your pictures, your projects, patterns. There's forums. There's my blog. There's a map where you can go in shops, in long arm quilters, in quilting retreat places can sign up on our map so you can locate these places easily. So I want to, it's just kind of, my husband and I have been working on it for over 2 years. But
it's still kind of in its infancy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Because we need a professional to do it. However, Mike has been teaching himself how to make a website and how to do this. And I just give him so much credit for putting all the time and effort into this and trying to build a quilting community on this quilting social network is what it is. And it works. And it's great. And I want to build up this community regardless of, it's all free, so we don't make any money off of it. But even if we don't have designers coming, I still want it to be successful for the community. I want it to be a place where you can come and search for any idea that you could possibly imagine. So just a shout out to quiltswag.com and my husband, who's put so much time and effort into this. We're really trying to make a good go of it, and hopefully it can become what I have envisioned it to be. So.
Yeah, and I like your overall concept of it where, we as quilters can go in, we can put our projects out there, we can show, we can say who a designer is, who a pattern is that we got. So if one of you decides, I'm looking for something that's a Christmas project, well, let me go to Quilt Swag and see what's out there in their Christmas library and see what some other quilters have used, and then create your own ideas. Yeah. And I think that's the general. And
I'm glad you brought up the library, because like in Ravelry, when you purchase a pattern, it's saved in your library. And Quilt Swag is designed the exact same way for quilters. So you will always have that pattern in your library. That's my favorite feature of Ravelry.
Mine too, because it's for me, it's like I have like this stack of stuff of patterns. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this someday, and I'll keep it. And then I'm like, okay, where was that pattern? Like one I'm going to show you that I've used a dozen times. And I always have to go back and try to find, where is it? Well, by putting it on Quilt Swag, then it's like, oh, okay, there it is. And I don't have to go ruffle through that bunch of papers I have.
Yes. And actually so JoJo's quilt behind me will be the first pattern that, unless somebody beats me to it, it'll be a free pattern that I'm going to put on Ravelry when it's all finished, and I take pictures of it, and I'm going to put it on there. So, and it'll be free. So, it's free. Come sign up, join up, come follow me, say hi to me. You'll see my blogs on there. It's going to be a really fun place. And more importantly, I'm just going to close my computer here. I don't want it to be just my stuff. Like, I want the blog to highlight other people's projects and other designers and spotlight, seasons and things that are trending and stuff. So,
right.
Get on there. I want to see what you're working on. That's the whole point of it. So,
that's right.
Yeah.
Sharing of information, patterns,
it's
creativity.
The biggest show and tell for quilters. That's my goal.
There you go.
So, yeah. So anyway, I'll back up to Friday. We put it out there. We've had over 500 views. I've had some more subscribers on YouTube. If you like us and you like our podcast, you want to be notified when we come out with a new one, just go to YouTube and click on subscribe and click the bell. And the bell, if you have a smartphone, the bell will notify you as to when we upload a new video. So,
and make sure you share too.
Make sure you share with friends and share with your quilty friends. Yes.
And like.
So, I think that's all the soapbox stuff out of the way. But yeah. So we uploaded that Friday. It was great. We've been so excited to do the next one. On Saturday, I got in a car accident.
Yeah.
And, I came off like a really good high on Friday, and Saturday I told my husband, my kids, I'm like, let's go hiking at Mohican. We haven't done that like since last year, maybe. And so we go out, we go hiking. It's a beautiful day. Kids had a blast. We're on our way home. And there's a woman who fell asleep at the wheel on the other side of the road coming towards me, and she fell asleep. And we watched her swerve over into our ditch and come back. So, I mean, we watched her for 200 yards, and I had just about slowed down to, I might have been stopped or very close to having stopped, and I was laying on my horn. The kids were all yelling and screaming.
Aww.
Mike was like, what is she doing? What is she doing? I'm like, I don't know. And that was the worst part, just watching it come towards me. And I told Mike, I said, what I was thinking in those brief seconds was, where is she going to hit me? Because I want her to hit me instead of my kids.
Aww.
And that was really hard to calculate because she was all over. And then she hit my driver's side. And then she went off of the side of the road into the ravine. You could not even see her car.
Oh my gosh.
From the road.
Wow.
So
that must have been scary.
It was very scary. My son had a hard time with it for a couple days, but
sure.
As soon as it happened, I have a big car, and it really felt like she bounced off of us. My airbags didn't go off. It did cost $7,000 worth of damage.
Oh my goodness.
It was a big one.
Yeah.
And I was stopped. I looked back. Everybody was fine. I knew everybody was fine because I was fine, and she hit my side.
Right.
So then I jumped out, ran down the ravine, and I didn't know what I was getting into.
Yeah, that would be scary.
And she was climbing out of the car. She was able to walk away from that. She had bruising, and she had a couple cuts and scrapes, but she was wearing her seatbelt.
Thank goodness.
And she walked away, and there were people that stopped. There was a firefighter who stopped, a retired firefighter, stopped. It was very steep, and this firefighter pulled her up and out of the ravine.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so we're all fine.
Thank goodness.
I'd never been in an accident like that before.
Yeah, it's scary.
It was scary. And at the same time, if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you'll see that I was just filled with so much grace, like after the police report was done, and just feeling very grateful that we were all fine. And the woman who hit me, she came over to me. She was crying. She was very upset and apologizing. And I hugged her, and I was like, we're all okay. My kids are fine. We are able to walk away from this, and I'm praying for you.
Oh,
so
make me cry.
Don't, because if you cry, then I cry.
I'm sorry. I'm just thankful that everybody was okay.
Yeah. So I've been driving around just a little, I call it a micro machine. And my kids hate it, and then I just realized how spoiled they are because we have a big car, and they're very comfortable in the big car, and they're not comfortable in a little micro machine. And I filled up my tank in the micro machine, and I was like, oh, it's half the cost to fill up this little Chevy Malibu.
Uh-huh.
It was great.
I know. Well, I have a little car. I have a Buick Encore, and it's just a little SUV, and I'm telling you what, the gas mileage on it's great. Getting in a parking spot is great. You just zoom in, zoom out.
Yeah.
So I love the little cars, but if you're going to be in an accident, you want to be in something like you're in.
Well, yeah.
That was, luckily.
Yeah. And the first thing I felt getting into the little car is I feel unsafe.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to, I have an Expedition, so I'm very used to driving a tank and feeling safe all the time.
Well, you have to be in that tank, especially out where you are. I mean, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and in the winter times here.
I have to have 4-wheel drive where I'm at.
I came down one winter. Do you remember this? And I had a smaller car, and the road that they live on was a dirt road at that time. It's paved now, amazingly. And there was a snowdrift, and I got stuck. I couldn't move. And Mike came out with the Ranger.
The Ranger or the tractor?
The Ranger thing there
Okay,
you guys have. And he couldn't pull me out. So next, Mike's dad, Julius, I see him coming down with one of these great big farming tractors and just pulled me right out. And I'm like, man, if a lady's in distress, this is the place to get stuck because they got farming equipment that'll just pull you right out. And he plowed the road that I was able to get out. So, you need a big vehicle down here.
You need 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, for sure.
Or else you're not going anywhere in the winter. No. That's true. Yeah. So, I'm glad that's over. It was a week and a half. I still don't have my car back. I was supposed to get it Friday or Monday, probably.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Last Friday, I'm going to switch wheels here. I went with my Betty to see Downton Abbey. It was so good.
Was it?
It was so good. And it was like everything that I thought it would be. And we had popcorn. We went to Cheesecake Factory.
That's her favorite place.
It's my favorite place.
Yeah.
I know. And we had a great day. And
good.
So everything is right in the world really now. So it was great.
That's good.
Speaking of...
Let's do a hair check.
Oh, hair check.
See? Oh, boy.
Yeah, it doesn't look that different.
No. It's...
from last time.
Yeah, I'll get it cut next week, but I don't know if you can see in the back. You can really see...
Yeah.
It in the back.
Yeah.
So I'm still, my husband keeps looking at me. He goes, it looks like you're going bald because everything is like white in the back. So, but probably next time you see me, it'll be a little bit more. I'm thinking probably in another 4 weeks, it'll probably be more noticeable. But for those of you that are doing it or thinking about it, this is what you're going to go through. I'm okay with it, actually. I get out of the shower. It takes me 30 seconds to blow dry my hair and then just kind of run my fingers through it. And it's like, wow, this is great.
I'm as white as you.
I cannot believe that.
I am. And Lene, who's my hairdresser, and I don't know if she's watching, and she will testify that I am that white.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just got it colored yesterday. So
I'm sorry, honey.
I know.
I blame Grammy.
I do too. Love you, Grammy.
We do.
But yeah, it's early graying. Yeah. I've been graying since middle school. And we all have.
Yeah.
My brothers have. Yeah.
Yeah, her brothers have, they're like salt and pepper as well. Yeah. So, and you don't really notice theirs because it's real short. But when it starts to grow out, it really, you can tell that there's a lot of gray in there. So, we're all aging gracefully with the...
Gracefully.
Yes.
We're quite a ways in. We should probably start talking about quilting.
Okay. Do you want to
do this one? Since
it's right there.
So this is JoJo's quilt, and it's JoJo. JoJo stands for Joanna Gaines. Because it's a wedding quilt for some friends of mine, and I don't know the bride very well. I know the groom. and he is a hockey coach at a college in Massachusetts. And I went and looked up the colors of his team, and it's blue and white. And then I asked what the style was, what his fiance's style was. And I was just told that she loves Joanna Gaines' style. So that's a really tall order. And I came up with this blue and white. There's some creams in there. But he's very Irish. They have a very Irish Catholic family. So I went with the Irish chain.
I think this is beautiful.
And I did do something different. So these are 9 patches right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you literally only got 2 blocks. So you've got a white block and then a 9 patch. And it's all in how you arrange it to make it, you can make it. So these parts are white, and then it's just like a diagonal chain like that. Mm-hmm. And like that. But I went a little different. I went a little more modern twist on it. So, and they don't watch the channel, so I'm not worried about her seeing it ahead of time. So, but I was a little iffy, but I do like the way it turned out.
Yeah, when she first was, she's like, Mom, I'm not really happy with this. And I'm like, oh, I think it's going to be beautiful. And then once you got the whole thing together, mm-hmm. It's like, oh, okay, you can stand back and see it. It really is pretty. Yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love we're coordinating with it, too.
It was purely accidental.
Yeah, right.
No, it wasn't. So Mom's going to take this home tonight and long arm quilt it, and so it should be ready for our next podcast.
Do you have the backing fabric that you can show?
Yes, thank you. Yeah. That's my dog itching. Do you hear?
Yeah, I hear her.
So this is the backing.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful on there. That's going to be real pretty. It's very subtle.
It's lighter, so it's going to match more the lighter blue.
Yeah.
But
do you know what you're going to do for the binding?
I want to do a navy, something in navy.
That'd be really pretty. That'd give it a real classic look.
This is just, I got this at Joann Fabrics, and
that's going to be gorgeous. I
really
love
like
that.
I'm
excited.
Me too.
To do that.
Me too. What do you got? Let's move to you. We can go back and forth.
Okay, we can go back and forth. I've been very busy doing some quilting, being a little creative. My husband's cousin, who is just such a sweetheart, texted me and wanted to know if I could whip her up a baby quilt because she's going to have her 5th great-grandchild. And I said, yeah, sure. So I went with Riley Blake's Sweet Baby Girl fabric, which I am so in love with.
That's pretty.
It is so cute. So I bought layer cake, and I got 2 baby quilts out of this. And if you don't know by now, I love Jenny on Missouri Star Quilts, and she has all these fabulous tutorials that are so informative, and she takes a pattern that looks so complicated and makes it look so simple. So I took her tutorial that was called Pick a Bunch and came up with this quilt. And this is the pattern, and oh my gosh, I just love it. It's got little baby footprints in it.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, it's got little elephants in it and bunnies, and real soft and just really cute. I don't know.
These little feet up. Oh my gosh, look at that.
Aren't those cute?
Those are so cute. I love those little footprints.
But and then the back is just a pink and white polka dot, and I used Hearts in Bloom, and it's got like a daisy and hearts quilting pattern on it. So out of that layer cake, I got 2 baby quilts. So awesome. I just thought this was adorable. I loved all the soft colors. It's got bunnies and teddy bears and elephants and little baby hippos in it.
So cute.
But if you want to look at it, it's called Sweet Baby Girl. Riley Blake is what the designer is, and oh my gosh, just so pretty. I wish somebody was having a boy so I could do the boy one, because I think this was just turned out so cute.
Oh, it is cute, Mom. It's gorgeous. I love it.
I do too.
I love the daisies.
So she had asked me to whip one up for her, so that's one of the projects that I did this week. Do you want to do a turn?
I did a baby girl quilt too.
Oh, you did? Okay, what did you do?
Okay, so mine's smaller, but I was thinking more along the lines of putting a quilt over the car seat carrier.
Oh,
you know
okay.
what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I had in my mind. So I wanted it to be a little smaller.
Okay.
Now, okay, so my friend Paula is having a baby today.
I know.
And the room is in lavender and gray.
Okay.
So I definitely wanted to use those colors. And then I've got a great story. But I'm going to show you the quilt first.
Okay.
So,
oh, look it. Oh my gosh, I love this.
So, I didn't follow a pattern except for what's in my brain.
Some of the best things, right?
So, these are actually charm squares. And this is Bunny Hill Designs. And then I used some Bonnie and Camille. The pink is Bonnie and Camille, so right there.
So you got a mishmash of designers in there. Nice.
And then, so it's just a charm square and then a 4-patch.
That's adorable. I love that.
So, this will be on Quilt Swag. Mom's gonna take this home too.
Right.
And quilt it and for me. And then when I go visit the baby,
oh, I'm so jealous.
She'll have a little quilt. Okay, so when you if you go look for this, I'm calling it Baby Judy's quilt. Okay, because this is really cute. She has a 6-year-old son, and ever since they told him that he was going to be having a baby sister, he's been calling her Baby Judy. They don't want to name her Baby Judy. But he calls her Baby Judy, and everybody calls the baby Judy. Okay? And I've been trying hard to lobby for Judy to be in the name somewhere.
Yeah.
You know? And I think they're going to name her Elena. I think. And I'm like, what about Elena Judith?
Oh, that would be cute.
And she's like, no.
Really?
Like, no. She's like, I just don't love it. And I'm like, it's your baby. I'm like, but you always have a story about her middle name.
Right.
About how her brother called her Baby Judy.
Judy. Aww.
And so I'm just going to keep that story alive. Baby Judy's quilt.
I love that. Aww.
So, because Judy's not going to be in the name. But I just love it. And this is the backing.
Oh, I love that.
So I went with a gray. And then I will probably use this for binding too.
Yeah.
I
that'll
got
set it.
enough to do the binding.
That'll set that off so pretty.
So yeah.
Oh, Baby Judy is so
Baby
lucky.
Speaking of boys, and since it matches,
we're going with the theme here.
Mom quilted this for me like maybe 2 years ago.
Oh, this is a whip.
Put the binding on it. Look at this. There's no binding, and I don't have a boy to give it to. It's just a patchwork.
Oh, and it's flannel.
It's flannel brushed. Yeah, it's brushed.
Oh.
And
This is so cuddly.
yeah. So when a boy comes, I'm going to just put the binding on it, and that'll be the gift. I love a patchwork.
Nice.
It's just charm squares all put together, and I was like, well, I'm going to show this one because it really just blends.
It does.
And matches, and it's so warm.
It is. It's so cuddly. I
I
love that.
So,
Aww.
yeah, those are my baby quilts.
Your baby quilts. I love
that
that.
I'm holding on to, and yeah. Okay, what have you got now? I went twice.
That's okay. Well, we were on the baby theme,
Yeah.
so this is a lady that I know, and I just quilted it, but the reason that we're showing it is because it's amazing some of the things that you can find. She was in an antique shop, and she found this vintage fabric, and it was just the top of a quilt that somebody had made years ago, and it had all these beautiful vintage materials in it, and they're all hand quilted, so this is really, really delicate. And so she put some borders around the outside and said, hey, would you take a look at this? I want to get it quilted. And I said, sure. So I looked at it. I wanted to share it with you because, oh my gosh, these are just some beautiful, beautiful squares.
Oh, wow. That's so pretty.
And it's the same, like there's some, just some squares, some different designs in it. But when you look at the fabrics, these are all just beautiful, beautiful old fabrics.
They look like 30s.
Yeah.
Like from feed sacks.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them. Yeah.
And she just found this in an antique shop,
Mm-hmm.
and it was laying over in a corner, and she just had an eye, and she saw that, and she said, oh my gosh, that'll make a beautiful quilt.
Mm-hmm.
So she went ahead and gave it to me, and I used what's called wrought iron quilting pattern on it, which kind of made it pop because you've got these big empty squares, so you needed something to just kind of pull it together. And she just used white muslin on the back of it.
It's
There's
beautiful.
some more of them.
Where is it? This one. I love that one.
Yeah.
That's so pretty.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
I just loved it. And then when I was looking at it and I was putting it on the machine, you know, I could see all the hand stitching that was done, and oh my goodness.
So all these pieces were not machine, they were hand stitched.
Yeah, all hand stitched.
Wow. That's pretty.
This was a labor of love by somebody.
Oh yeah.
So
that took somebody a lot of time.
Yeah. And it's like 80 by 96, so or 90. It's a huge quilt.
I just want to open up and show it.
I know, it's so pretty.
All right. Okay. Pretty. I love it.
Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
So when you're out and about and you see something like this, just in your mind, I mean, this is something that will be an heirloom because she's got a story to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just thought it was gorgeous and wanted to share it with you guys.
So pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
So
yeah, you can find those at estate sales. Like they're all like if you go to estate sale, you can find old quilts, you know, whips, quilts that never been finished, blocks like that.
yeah.
You can find those pretty easily.
Well, we all know we've got tons of whips. Just imagine.
Yeah.
Speaking of vintage, don't you have a vintage quilt you want to share?
Let's keep going with yours.
Right.
Okay. Still got some new projects to go.
All right. Well, I have this pattern. We were talking about patterns before in Quilt Swag and sharing and all of that. Well, I have this pattern that's called Venetian Dream. Okay. I have made a gazillion quilts out of this. Mm-hmm. I made a quilt for my grandson Ronnie out of this, and he is into baseball and soccer and football and all that, so I made a quilt for him out of that. I made a couple out of just some really, really pretty fabrics, like something like this. And then I have a quilt that I made for one of the kids. And I say kids, he's not a kid, he's grown up now and he has his own family. But when my kids were younger, we would, and I think you were kind of off in college by this time, her brothers, every weekend, I wanted to kind of know where they were, but I didn't want them to know, even though they knew. I was trying to keep an eye on all of them. So everybody was always at our house. And this one kid, his name is Jim, was there every weekend. He slept on our couch almost every single weekend. So he calls me mom. I mean, and a lot of these kids come back at Thanksgiving time to the house and we see them, and it's such a nice reunion to have everybody together. Well, he reached out to me and he said, hey mom, can you make me a t-shirt quilt? Because I make t-shirt quilts and memory quilts. And I said, sure, what do you got? And he goes, well, I have a bunch of t-shirts. I'll have my mom get them together and I can send them to you. And I said, okay, great. Well, that was back in February. Well, he texted me about, 2 months ago, said my mom threw the t-shirts away.
No.
I said, you're kidding. And he goes,
no.
So then he said, if I asked you to make a Packard, a Green Bay Packer quilt, could you do it? And I said, sure. So I sent him a couple of ideas of things I could do. And he said, yes, that will work. So this is the result using that pattern.
I love it. I've seen it.
Okay, this is the
So
backing,
good.
which is all football, like a football field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and It's kind of hard because you can't really.
This is a big quilt.
Yeah, this is a huge quilt. This is 80 by 80. Let's see, I think this
upside
is
down.
upside down.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go. And this is using that same pattern. Do we have it right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see it? Okay.
I'm just trying to show the camera
like a
here.
Section.
Yeah.
So this is his Green Bay Packer quilt.
I love it.
Isn't that
It's
pretty?
So good. Yes. I love how you did the yellow sashing.
Yeah. I had all of these busy patterns, and I love the vintage, but then I wanted something. We had it upside down, and then the white. And I'm like, okay, I need something that's just going to make it pop. And then when I saw the yellow, I'm like, that'll do it. Because obviously
it sets it off.
Yeah.
I feel bad. I thought it was right side up.
That's okay.
There we go.
There we go. And I love this one over here, the vintage kind of, this material here, kind of like tied it all together.
Okay. I just don't want to make sure if you're talking, I can hold it in front of my face.
Okay.
Because...
Am I getting muffled?
You will.
Okay.
Okay.
So I love this vintage over here, this vintage material, because it took the greens and the golds and the blacks and then just kind of accented it from there. And I just love it. And then that's using that pattern. I mean, it's amazing how many looks I've been able to get out of that particular pattern. So
I love it.
I
think you chose well.
And I'm excited. So I sent him a picture of it, and he goes, "I love it, Mom. I love it." Aww. So I'm going to be sending that out to him this week. So I'm pretty tickled with it and was real happy with the way that it came out. So, and I know it's going to take care of one of my kiddos.
It's true. I love it. You did great.
So that was that one.
What
Do you want me to keep going?
Keep going.
All right.
You have more than I do.
All right. So again, with Jenny from Missouri Quilt Star, I can't help myself.
Missouri Quilt Company.
Missouri Quilt. Okay. I was looking for a table runner. So she has this table runner out there. And she used...
Oh, just Missouri Star. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
I'm like, what? It is Missouri Star. Okay. They have using this large template. I ordered this. And then I ordered a fat quarter. And it is a Moda fabric, which is Kringle and Claws, which I just thought was so cute. So I ordered a layer cake. And I could have had 6 of these out of it, which are about 45 long. But because I think I know what, I'm doing, I cut a couple pieces of the squares and I kind of messed up. So I only got 5. Do you ever find yourself doing that? Oh, yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, no.
It doesn't matter how experienced you are.
Yeah.
You will always screw up. I use Rip Stitcher so much on that. So much.
I know. And you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, how come I did that?
It doesn't matter.
So anyways, this is made with one of those large, simple wedges. And I love this. This made it so easy. And then the Moda Kringle and Claws. And this is what I came up with. This is the table runner.
Love it.
Isn't that cute?
So what are you going to do with these? Are you going to sell them or are you give them away?
I think both. I'm on this one here, I had some of this fabric here, like little snowflakes. Yeah. So I made that, and then I did some muslin also like this. And then I put all red binding around them just to make them a little more Christmassy. But I just thought they were so pretty.
They are. They're cute.
Yeah. So, and I love the fabric because, it had some of the lighter colors in it, but it had your traditional Christmas colors too. So I made those up for Christmas gifts, and lots of times some of my friends will say, "Hey, do you have something made up that I could give, for somebody for a Christmas gift?" Or like the soup koozies we talked about last time. I have people that call me all the time, "Hey, do you have any more of those?" "Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of those." So I worked on those this week as well. So I was a busy girl the last 2 weeks. I was doing a lot of sewing and, quilting. We had a friend of ours was needed a quilt done. It was a Ohio State quilt.
Mm-hmm.
I did that. Shanny's quilt. And that came out really nice. I was really, really pleased with that. So
mm-hmm. I know. I feel like the only sewing I've gotten done was this one and then the baby quilt. However, I did receive lots of messages about my morbid Halloween quilt. And they encouraged me to finish it. So by our next podcast, I will have something to show you.
Nice.
Because I've decided to do one other thing with that too. So,
I think that it's going to be cute.
Yes. So that's next on my list.
Okay.
That's my next. I want to get that done, but it's going to take a little more work than I anticipated. I left my Halloween swoon up all 2 weeks. Like, I took it down yesterday.
Did you?
I didn't want to take it down because it's Halloween time, and it's so pretty, and I still have to put the binding on it. I love binding. Like, that's my favorite part, and it's just I don't know why. I just, like, the baby quilt, I just don't do it until it's the last minute. So, but
hence all those whips she has in that flannel baby quilt that she's had for 2 years.
I'm just waiting for a baby to pop up so I can finish it and give it to somebody.
That's where she and I differ. I have to finish it. It's like I need to finish it because then I put it away and then I know it's done, and then when I need it, it's there for me. So.
I wish I had that quality. I don't.
I don't like unfinished projects. It makes me crazy because I don't feel like I've completed it. And I'm really organized. So it's like, okay, you got to do this. And I have like 3 or 4 other projects out here that I want to do, but it's like, no, I won't allow myself to do those until I finish this and put it away. So, yeah, you and I don't share that.
I had 3 kids.
I had 3 kids too.
But you weren't quilting when we were in elementary school.
But I know, but that's still a quality that I've always had. It's just like you can't go on until you finish this. So
not like that.
Maybe it's something you'll acquire with time.
Yes. Well, now I felt pressure to get these 2 done for today.
Right.
And that's good for me. Like, I'm a last minute person. I was finishing the baby quilt yesterday.
I called her yesterday and I'm like, okay, so what are we doing tomorrow? What are we doing? Do you have this done? She's like, no. But I'm working on it. I go, okay. I go, now our next one, what are we going to do? She goes, let's get through this one first. And I'm like, oh no, we got to plan ahead. We got to be. She goes, Mom, I got stuff I got to do. I'm like, okay. But I know I have to keep her on task.
Yes. I'm on task.
Yes, you are. You're doing
fun.
great.
I love this. Okay, so you ready for the big reveal?
Yes.
The big reveal. My mother, Momo, made me a quilt for my wedding day. And it's beautiful. A wedding ring quilt. And for the first... I will be married 16 years this month.
I know.
16 years.
That's amazing.
And
that's wonderful.
I want to say, like, the first couple years, it laid, like, at the edge of my bed, like, folded up, and I would move it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, one night, my husband got cold, I guess, and he pulled the quilt up, and he used it, and he has been using it every single night since. Okay. Not only that, but he has a certain love for this quilt. He says he likes the weight of it. And so now every day I'll make the bed, when I make it. I'll make the bed and I have a big quilt that Mom also made, and I will pick up his quilt and set it aside. Okay, because it is a little worn out.
And if any of you have ever made a wedding quilt, you know it is time consuming and it's hard with all those curves and stuff. So a lot of love went into that quilt when I made it for them, and a lot of love has been received by Mike. Not so much Stephanie, but by Mike.
I'm so embarrassed to show this quilt.
I'm excited.
I'm so embarrassed. If you are worried about somebody not using a quilt that you make or setting it in the corner and not having the love that you think it should be received. This is the complete opposite. The complete opposite.
It makes me so happy to know how loved this quilt is. It's amazing what's happened to it, but
you haven't seen it in a while.
No, I haven't seen it.
There's huge. Okay, so this was white. It's bright. It was bright white. I can't wash it anymore.
Well, I can see why. Oh my God! It looks like a dog got it.
Look at this. Look. The back was bright white. It was like whiter than this. Oh. Look how dirty it is.
Oh.
And it smells. You
yeah, I do. I can smell
it. It smells. Like, look at this.
Oh.
So this is embarrassing, but here, let me show the front. Look at this. My mom hand sewed this.
Oh my God, this is awful. Does he still use this?
Yes.
Oh, how does he use it?
Well, so the reason why I'm showing this is because he I think it was last week. He goes, so last night I turned in my sleep and I felt a big rip in the quilt. And I'm like, there's lots of rips in the quilt. There's tons of them. He's like, well, I think I need a new one. I was like, hallelujah! Because I've been wanting to make him a new one. Look.
Oh my God.
Look.
Hello.
Hey! Put your head in there. I'm going to make this our thumbnail.
Okay. A loved quilt. Oh my gosh.
For years, I'm like, you need a new quilt. No. It's fine. It's fine. He's finally conceded.
Yeah, because I made another quilt for them because he had told me that several years ago.
Yeah.
And he still loves this quilt. And so she uses the other quilt.
Mm-hmm. We have our own quilts on our own.
Yeah. Well, I can see why. You guys would get tangled up and strangle each other in this.
I'm not. This is what happens every night. I'll get under because I do the sheet, the middle, and then the middle blanket, and then the quilt on top of it. And he'll get in bed, he'll shove all three to my side. So it's in the middle. Grab this, move it back to the bed because I've moved it off into the corner where nobody can see it.
Right.
Not like anybody goes up there anyway, but anyway. And he'll cocoon himself in this. And that's what he uses. And so that's why it's so brown and that's wet and
Yeah. That is a loved quilt. It makes my heart just full.
I'm so glad you have that reaction.
I do.
That's sentiment. Look at that.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's 16 years of pure love.
Pure love.
I love it. That is so funny.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that after it's done. You got any ideas?
Well,
when I make a new one, what am I going to do with that?
I think it should be like, when you're done with the United States flag.
Burn it.
You have a burning ceremony. Yes, because it is treasure. Okay. It's a treasure. It's been loved. It represents so much. Mm-hmm. I think you should do... That's what we could do on a podcast.
Okay. We could do that on a podcast.
We could do like a burning of the quilt.
Yeah.
Mike will probably cry.
He might.
We could play taps. Because it really is. When you stop and think about it, it's something that's been cherished and loved, just like the flag.
It was so pretty. I don't have a picture of it before.
You don't?
I don't.
Aww.
I think I did it one time, but it was before digital pictures.
Oh, okay.
Because we were married in 2003. And we didn't have an iPhone then.
Right.
So, I don't think I have one. But it was beautiful.
I think we should do a little ceremony. We'll put it on the podcast so you all can see it.
So funny. A well-loved quilt.
It is.
And I'm so glad that you have the opinion that you do. That it's well-loved and you're not heartbroken.
No. Well, to me, when I make a quilt and when you make a quilt too, I think, there's so many people that, don't touch it. It's just to look at. Well, sure. But to me, that love and that went into making it and giving it and sharing it with somebody. And when you see that love back, that this person has just treasured this and sleeps with it every night for 16 years, that right there is like Oh my gosh. That's what the quilt is meant for.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I'm still trying to figure out what pattern, what fabric to use to replace this. And I don't have anything yet. I don't know. I don't know yet. I was thinking about making another one of these, but it's too white. Like, I want something dark.
Yeah, something darker.
Because the white turns brown underneath him.
Yeah. Looks like it's been tea dyed.
It does. It does. It looks like,
Oh, gosh.
And it's funny because he's a night shower. Like, he doesn't shower in the morning. He showers at night. All four of them shower at night. Yeah. I'm the only morning shower person. And it still looks like that.
Well, you know.
Right.
The key is getting the loft of the batting because he likes that really light loft. That's going to be...
Yeah, but wasn't it, like, thick, though?
At one time, it was somewhat thick, yeah.
When you were hand sewing it was
thick.
It
was thick.
Yeah. So you're just saying it wasn't as dense.
Right,
okay.
Right. So, because I think, isn't that what he really likes about it? Is the weight of it. It's not super heavy.
It's the weight of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Hobbs batting, they have a lighter loft. That might work.
Okay.
That might work.
Huh.
For him, since he doesn't like, I mean, I don't know about any of you, but I like that heavy weight of the quilt on me and snuggle in. And I do the cocoon thing too. Ron's always teasing me because he'll wake up in the middle of the night and he won't have any covers on him because I've got myself all wrapped up in.
Oh my. Yeah, so I'm going to do the Halloween quilt, and then I think I might try to do a quilt for him for Christmas.
That would be nice.
And so we can replace this one.
Yeah.
A well-loved wedding quilt.
There you go.
I'm going to the podcast title will be A Well-Loved Wedding Quilt.
There you go. I love it. We're both looking through it.
Double entendre there.
Oh, that's great.
So dirty. Literally.
Oh, wow.
All right. So I think that's all I've got. Is that everything that you have?
Yep. That's everything I have.
I have something a little different for Designer Spotlight. If you follow me if you're on Instagram, my name is The Quilty Knitter, so you can come and find me on the Instagram if you want to follow stuff that I'm doing throughout the week. But I have been seeing in my newsfeed all of these quilts by the Pattern Basket. And she made this quilt called Hocus Pocus.
I love this.
Look at this. Isn't that cute?
That's adorable. I love that.
And cover your face. So I just love this pattern. But I love the little black stars and the different color pumpkins. But I did a search for this fabric because I really love the fabric.
Oh, I do too. It's just so unique.
It's black and gray, orange, and like a cream. And it is by Fig Tree. And it's called All Hallows Eve. Now, let me tell you something. If you do hashtag, I think it's All Hallows Eve fabric, or All Hallows Eve quilts, you can see all of the projects that people have made with this. Gorgeous. Like, just stunning projects with this line of fabric.
Wow. Came
out in June. I have been trying to find this everywhere. Like a fat quarter bundle.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You can't find them anywhere.
Really? Oh,
They're sold out.
Wow.
So, I hope they Moda prints this again because I probably want a bolt of every single fabric in this line. So here's, it's All Hallows Eve by Fig Tree, and I downloaded this from Moda, but right here she says she was inspired to make this line because she makes, she uses the pumpkin guts to find every last seed, and then she roasts them in olive oil and toasts them and then put spices and seasonings on it.
Ooh.
And so that's what inspired her to make this. So here's the blacks. I think there's a cream. The orange and the cream.
Nice.
Sorry, Mom.
Oh, that's okay. I was just...
There's some pattern. Here's the gray. There's a couple patterns. I love that one. That one right there.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's so pretty. And people are making that one, and you can see them on Instagram.
Wow.
Is there a title on that? Halloween figs. It's a block of the month. 12 months, block of the month. Isn't that gorgeous? That
is. I love that.
So
I'm disappointed that you aren't able to find that fabric.
I can't find it. I can't find. I would like fat quarter bundles. I would like yardage. Can't find it. It's hard to find.
Well, if any of you know, let us know.
Yeah,
because we'd love to get our hands on some of that.
One of those ones where, like last time we had our podcast, I'm like, I wish I would have bought that fabric panel.
Yeah.
Same thing. I wish I would have bought one of these because I've seen all these projects coming through, and I'm like, oh, I love that.
I do too. That is just so pretty.
Missed opportunity. Like, we need to come up with some kind of name for that missed opportunity. So I love it. I hope that they print it again. Maybe they will because it did sell out.
It's a mo. It's a mo. A missed opportunity.
Yeah. So that's my spotlight. Fig Tree makes tons of wonderful lines, and I just love her stuff, and I especially love that one. And we're a Halloween pumpkin farm type of place, and
yeah.
I love that.
You need to take some pictures of your pumpkins up against the barn or something, and just put it out there so people can see. Maybe like at the intro or something of one of.
I took one this morning.
Yeah, and just include it in there, either at the beginning or the end, so people can see.
I can insert it here.
There you go.
When I'm editing.
There you go.
The farm.
Just so people could see, because it's when I drove down here and I came by the golf course and I saw all the pumpkins out there. I'm like, oh, those are you guys's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we have a wagon at a golf course locally that we just sell the pumpkins off of, and then we've got some pallets out here with pumpkins, and people just come up and buy them, which is great. And it's fun. The kids love going out and picking pumpkins.
I didn't see Izzy driving the tractor. I heard she drove the tractor.
She did drive the tractor.
Oh, my. What a girl.
She's just the sweetest thing. She's always the first person to help out with anything, especially if it involves a tractor. She loves to ride the tractor.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And she loves pumpkin. Anything pumpkin. Oh my goodness.
Anything.
She's
pumpkin.
a good little baker.
Yeah, she wants to bake. She loves pumpkin pie. It's her favorite is pumpkin pie. So, I have not done any knitting. I haven't done any.
Well, you've been busy.
Yeah, I've been busy. But I'm just starting on a project. I'm kind of just using something from my head and making one of those little pumpkin hats for baby Judy that's not Judy. And the yarn is Madeline Tosh. This is citrus and it's in vintage. It's a vintage base. And I love this. It's a perfect pumpkin color. I mean, it's a great citrus color, but it's a great pumpkin. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. It's hot in here. It's hot. I'm sweating.
Well, you have a long sleeve shirt on. I've got sleeveless, so.
If we keep podcasting, your hair is going to turn white, and I'm going to go through the change.
You're having your own personal summer here.
Hot flash! Speaking of hot flashes. Okay,
yes.
I have to shout out to the Grocery Girls. Okay.
Oh, yes.
So the Grocery Girls are a knitting podcast that I follow and I love, and I always look forward to their podcast. And the girls are sisters, Tracy and Judy. And the last podcast they did was it was a few days ago.
Yeah. Maybe
over the weekend. I don't know. Jody's always having hot flashes. It's hysterical. They're so funny. But she's always like, hot flash. Love it. Anyway, Tracy and the Grocery Girls just started quilting.
Did she?
Yes.
Oh, how exciting.
She made a quilt and she showed it on her podcast, and she's just getting into it. She's a fantastic knitter and designer knitter, and they're so fun. I just love them to death. And I sent her a message and said, come on over and watch us. And she said that she would check us out. So just a shout out to Tracy and Jody. And so glad that you're getting into the quilting, and it's super fun. And I try to find a happy balance between knitting and quilting. So this is some of my advice to you. Quilt when you can listen to something, but if you have to watch something on television, that's when you knit. Right. That's my advice.
That's your advice.
So like, we love watching football. That's my knitting time. Mm-hmm. And that's when, or like Game of Thrones, like I was always knitting, because on Game of Thrones, I don't know if anybody else's knitters noticed this.
Okay.
I wanted to knit a hat for all of those people in the north.
Oh, I
know. And put them on their heads. Why can they not wear hats?
I know, they're crazy. What's up with that?
It's crazy.
Well, speaking of knitting, Mom, last week. This is one of the things I did last week. Mom says we had to take Dad in for an appointment, so I went with them. And I said, well, we got some time left. Do you want to get some yarn? Yarn? Oh, yes. I want some yarn. I go, okay. So we went to the store, and Mom's got her little cart, and she's pushing the cart around.
I love her.
And she was looking for a particular color, so we matched up the yellow to what she had. And then they had like big pounds of yarn that were on sale. So she goes, well, maybe I should get one of these. I said, okay. So I'm helping her, and I'm putting color after color after color. By the time we got ready to go, she had a huge cart full of yarn. And Dad looked at me, and he's just like, oh my gosh. He goes, you're going to keep her busy. I go, this will only last a week. She'll be done. So when I went over the other day, she was sitting there, and she had some lavender, and she was making a baby sweater. And oh my gosh, she was just having the time of her life. So it was really cute. Just, she was all in her little element, and we're ready to check out. And she's like, well, no. And she takes the cart, and she scoots this way. She goes, I think I missed this aisle over here. So it was fun. It was a good time.
Did you go to Joann's, or did you go to
We went to Michael's.
Oh, okay.
And they have quite a good yarn selection.
Okay.
So she was just having a ball. So we took her and got her a whole bunch of yarn, so it'll keep her busy for a little bit.
I don't have a local yarn shop, but I've never checked the Canton area for a local yarn shop.
There used to be one right in Green, and I don't know if it's still there or not. I'll have to look, and I'll let you know.
I love going to yarn shops.
Yeah.
They're so fun, and I love... Because when you go to a local shop... Actually, no, I do have one in Mount Vernon, but she's more of a fiber. She's fiber, like a lot of wool, and she makes wool crafts. But anyway,
okay.
I love going to shops because they have all sorts of different textures at local quilt shops. Like you can have alpaca, you can have merino, you can have yak, silk, cashmere, just all sorts of different types of bases. And then a lot of times they'll mix them up, and it all feels different, looks different, and I love going to yarn shops. They're the best.
Yeah, I'm hoping I get a little earmuff thing with some real pretty merino wool.
Did I make you a red hat last year?
Yes, you did.
Okay, just checking.
Oh, I want just a little earmuff thing that goes around, a little headband thing. Remember last podcast? She showed that beautiful yarn.
Yeah.
And by the way, I want you to know that Shannon, who you made the cowl for, she sent me a text.
She did.
And she said, if you get my cowl, we will not be friends anymore. And I said, don't worry, I won't take your cowl. She goes, maybe I'll get it this year for Christmas. And I go, maybe, be a good girl.
That's the 3-color cashmere cowl by Hohi Locatelli's.
She threatened me. She threatened me.
I've been teasing her with it for 2 years.
Yes.
Like, she's totally validated in wanting that.
She said, I don't want to see that around your neck. I go, I promise, Shannon, I won't take it. Oh, shoot.
All right. Should we say where we're going next?
Yes.
Okay. So after this podcast, we are going down to my local quilt shop, which is called the Paw Patch in Mount Vernon, Ohio. And we are going to do a little, what's the right word? Showcase? A field trip.
Field trip. There
Field
you
trip. Down to the Paw Patch, and I'm going to show you my local quilt shop. And you get to meet the owners, Carol and Jean, and their mother-daughter team too. And they... Oh my god!
It's lunchtime!
We did this last time!
I know.
That was so loud and long.
I know.
I know, you're like, oh, I hope you didn't hear that. Oh my, okay.
I'm sorry,
So
you lost your
We're going to go get some lunch and then go to the Paw Patch, and we're going to have a field trip. So next Friday, we're going to have an extra video for you guys.
Nice.
So,
nice.
You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me at Quilt Swag and YouTube. So the videos will be on YouTube. So go over there, subscribe, click on the bell. We do take questions. We haven't had any questions. We've had lots of comments,
Right.
but no questions. But maybe eventually we can do some Q&A.
That would be fun.
Questions.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
And ask away appropriate questions.
Yeah, if there's ideas that you have or want us to share with everybody else, just let us know, because you're our valuable source of information, and we'd like, this is what this is all about, a community of sharing with each other, and we all learn as we go and get creative as we go. So,
all right, I'm out.
All right, me too.
Everything.
All right.
It's been an hour, so we're
lunchtime.
Good. Lunchtime.
Don't
now
forget
feed the monster.
I know. This is becoming like a traditional thing here. So don't forget to subscribe. Yep. And any questions, please,
Comments.
Yeah, let us know what's on your mind, and if there's something in particular you're interested in, and maybe we can put that on a future podcast. And make sure you share, because that's what this is all about, is sharing and learning from each other. So
getting to know people in the quilting community.
Yeah.
I like that.
I do too.
All right. So look for us next Friday on YouTube. Oh my gosh.
I'm so hungry.
Eat anything this morning?
I did. I had some blueberry buckle and coffee. It was delicious. But that was at 6 o'clock this morning,
Okay.
so.
All right, where was I? Next Friday, we're gonna
She's going to feed
tune
me.
in for our field trip to the Paw Patch. And then the week after that, we'll have another podcast. And
Awesome.
We'll see where we're at. So that'll be real close to Halloween.
That'll be fun.
What day is that? 16th?
Yeah,
17th, 18th?
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah.
All right.
We'll see you next time.
All righty.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.